So, hi guys, we're here sitting down here and we're just going to talk, or we're just going to tell like a little bit details about how we become been together here right now.
Yeah, my turn, right? My turn. Okay. So yeah, how did it start? How long ago? I would say what, August 2018. Yeah, met online, used a dating site, and some people you would have met, then the others, you would have met. But then I came across her picture, and it was something about her picture that really gravitated to me.
My picture.
Yes, her picture, yeah. And we'll post that up and you'll see what I'm talking about. And when I saw this picture showed me a woman full of, debonair, confidence. Her pose was what really captivated me. So I reached out to her and I said hello. And once I said hello, then what happened?
Well, yeah, he's the one say first hello to me, and maybe that could be one day after. I just responded his message to me, and we're just talking a little bit in that site. Then we've been transferred. He been asking me if I have a messenger or Facebook, so I gave my Facebook account to him, and he is the one added me in Facebook, and yeah, that's the time we've been started to talking in messenger, and well, it just we make the story. It's not really a long story that we've been like boyfriend or girlfriend in Facebook, because we know already some of the foreigner and Filipina, if they're going to talk, some foreigner to think that that Filipina that could be their girlfriend already. So maybe that's only 3 days.
Yeah, yeah, about 3 days.
About that, and yeah, we've been keep talking each other, and until that he been decided to come to the Philippines to meet me for the first time.
Yeah, and when was that? That was what,
April
2018?
2019.
Oh, 2019, yeah, of
Yeah,
course, 2019.
2019.
Yeah.
And that was he been arrived there at Holy Week. That was April 19. I cannot forget that date, because that's the first time I saw him in the first personal, just like a personal meet. So I cannot forget that.
Yeah, and don't forget, coming me here, living here in Barbados, and traveling from Barbados to go over there, the route, how would it go? From Barbados to New York, which is about 4.5 hours. Then I overnighted to the following morning, then get a flight from New York to Hong Kong, which was about 15 hours. Then I arrived in Hong Kong in the morning. Then I got a flight in the afternoon from Hong Kong to Manila, and that took like another 2 hours and 45 minutes. When I arrived in Manila, I had to get another flight to her town, Dumaguete, and that was just an hour, but the whole journey probably would have taken like about 2 days. Now,
Are you complaining about your travel?
no, I enjoy it. No, I love traveling. I love traveling. To me, I like adventure, and for me to do it that way, I've been to New York a few times before, but then to travel to Hong Kong, that's the longest time I've ever traveled anywhere. And to be honest with you, how I prepared for that flight, I knew it was going to be a long flight. So when I arrived in New York, I got no sleep whatsoever. I was up. I arrived in New York about 7 p.m. and the flight was about 6 o'clock the following morning. And I was in New York, the JFK airport overnight, and I didn't sleep a wink, not one wink. I might have dozed off for 10 minutes or so, but my aim was not to get any sleep, so that when I got on that Hong Kong flight, at least half of that flight, hopefully, I would have been able to sleep, and then the other half I'll be awake. And I think that's what happened. So that was the way how I combated that flight, So, it was a brand new experience. And I must say, Hong Kong, man, Hong Kong airport, even though I didn't go outside, but man, it's massive, a lot of activity going on. And, it even made me more excited to go to, Dumaguete. I was long, but, it's just telling yourself, okay, I covered this one end of the trip, on to the next one. And when I finally arrived in Dumaguete, what happened? There was an army there waiting for me, an army of her family. And, there were lots of people, lots of her family. Her brothers came to the airport to greet me. She also has some in-laws coming to the airport to greet me. They really made me feel very, very welcome.
Wow, I'm not the only one been excited the time he came. Also, my family been excited to meet him in person because on that time I was keep on talking to them about him. That every story, every step we've been made, I make it sure that my family know about that. So that time when he will be going to arrive in the airport, I guess 3 of my brother went me and one of my friend and one of wife of my brother go with me in that time to meet him because they're, as I told you, they are really excited to meet him in person now. So that's the army he been told that my family is went there. So, but he cannot complain about that because he have a very heavy luggage. That if I just the only one went there, I don't know what should I'm going to do because I just driving my motorcycle.
I was getting to that. Now listen to this part. Now, okay, I'm at the airport. She mentioned I had heavy luggage. Now, okay, now I had an idea, but then it was like, okay, now how they lived about what 45 minutes an hour away from the airport.
Yeah.
Okay, and my thing was, okay, well, all right, so how are we gonna get this luggage up? Where's the car? And to my surprise, there was no car. There were motorcycles. There are at least 3 or 4 motorcycles, if I'm not mistaken. So how were we able? And when I'm talking about a suitcase, I'm talking about a big suitcase, and I think 2 bags.
Yeah,
2 bags.
2 suitcase and 1 backpack.
So I said, how in tarnation am I going to get this moved? So each motorcycle had 2 people. So the one person riding the motorcycle and the person at the back held 1 suitcase, and then another person on the other motorcycle held the other bag, and the other 2 motorcycles were free. One for me with my carry-on bag, and then the other person was free. So that's how we were able to do that. So it was like, going through the streets of Dumaguete and, big suitcase and everything, the motorcycle going through and, me riding on the back, man, it felt real, like, that sense of freedom, So we got there. We got to our house eventually,
Well, you've been lucky on that time when you was around because it's been holiday. It's not really been traffic at that time.
True.
It's not a lot of car, and that could be easy for us to drive in the road.
That's true. Yeah, but yeah, that was an experience, man. And I must say that the temperature or the climate is very similar to Barbados. So I acclimatized pretty quickly, and I must say, man, Dumaguete, the Philippines. I must say, when I arrived at the house, I was made to feel very welcome. It was like a big welcoming party for me, and the mom and dad, they opened their arms to me, and literally, I was really treated like a king. And to be honest with you, I was fed and looked after. I must say, everybody really looked out for my needs. So, yeah, that's how it was. My first, experience in Dumaguete and my first welcome in Dumaguete. Can't complain whatsoever. And, got to meet my brown sugar. I spent about 3 weeks over there because...
Yeah, it's 3 weeks.
Only 3 weeks because what happened was I got a job. I had a new job and I got interviewed for the job, but I already booked my holiday. Mm-hmm. So I told my employers at the time, well, before I accept the job, I got to let you know that I already got a trip booked and, if it's okay. And they said, okay, fine, that's no problem. So I got the job. I worked for about 2 weeks. And then after about the 2 weeks, then I made my way to Dumaguete. And if I had a job, I probably would have stayed longer, but I had to come back because I already signed the contract and everything. So I had to come back to the job, So, yeah, anything else to add?
Well, he was talking about his journey going to Philippines. Then it's my turn to say about my journey from Philippines coming here in Barbados. And my journey was from my town, from Dumaguete to Manila. It just 30 to 45 minutes. That's my schedule, or the date of my flight coming over here was November the 3rd. But I went to Manila at November at the 2nd, at the afternoon, so that I could be ready in my flight at the following morning, because my flight and that it was very early. So I went there at 4 o'clock, my flight from Dumaguete going to Manila, and I was staying in Manila the whole night and no sleep. He been talking also with no sleep on his travel, and I also experienced that. So after that, when the day is come for my flight, I was go in the chicken to my luggage.
Oh, right, check in.
Yeah, to check in my luggage, and wow, it took a while for them to investigate because that was my first travel out of the country, and it was very far. So they search everything in the visa that I give them, the visa here in Barbados, because I don't know, maybe they heard that place, or maybe they know that that could be my first time travel in that country, and it was very, very far. So it just take a while, maybe 45 minutes to check on the visa that I give to them. And after that, they came back to me and they said to me that if I will be arrived in Japan, do I know that what should I'm going to do? That I need to transfer from the first airport that I've been arrived. I'm going to transfer to the other airport where I'm going to start my journey going to Japan. So I said, yes, I know how to do that. So they give me my passport and my ticket. When I was going in the immigration, that was made me surprised, because the immigration is been hold me and make interview with me why I'm going to that place, who I'm going to be there, and how long do I need to stay there, or do I'm going to work there. Because I know I understand their part, the immigration, because they just been worried about myself also, because that's also my first time, and they know that is very long journey. And we know already that some of the Filipina that maybe they've been thinking, maybe I'm going to work in that country, so maybe they're going to think maybe I'm gonna be like some Filipina, that some employee have been abuse them, and he really directly talk to me what if I will be back on the I am be put in the box, or maybe they was thinking maybe I'm gonna be die when I come home. So I told them that I trust my boyfriend, I trust my big man, that will never happen to me because I met him already. So he just let me go. Maybe an hour of my flight, they just let me go. And wow, when I come back to the immigration to get my ticket, it was really surprised that they gave my ticket to the other passenger. So I just wait there. They've been looking my ticket. Where's my ticket is? So they've been locating for the passenger that they've been give it to the other passenger. So I don't want to be lie, but I was crying that time because I was afraid if I cannot flight on my flight going to Japan. I was crying that, and they saw me already that I was crying. So the personnel of the airport, they said that they're going to the like near the airplane to tell that the airplane will not be leaving unless I can get my ticket. So they do everything, and they've been search everything where's my ticket is. It could be 20 or 30 minutes they located my ticket, and they said they've been giving that to the other passenger. And yeah, there's somebody escorting me going to the airplane. Is the airplane or just the terminal? Yeah, in the terminal, escorting me going to the terminal, just to secure me that I can be reached there, because it's been quite far from the immigration office to the terminal that I went through. So that's it. That's my trip from Manila going to Japan. When I was arrived in Japan, I just only have 3 hours and 45 minutes of layover from Japan going to Canada. So when I was in Japan, the first airport, some of the employee there, they cannot speak well English. Well, yeah, they can speak English, but sometimes we cannot understand each other. So did I understand it? I need to put my passport like a transit visa from the first airport going to the other airport. So I don't know where I'm going to get that, because if I'm going to ask them, they just said, just go that way, just go that way. And I don't really understand. So it's just lucky for me that there is one employer there in their airport, and they been assist me, and there's one flight attendant assist me also, and she is the one writing everything that I need, and she give it to me, and I get to the immigration and they just stamp in my passport, and I rush to my luggage to get my luggage, and after that I get my luggage. I rush again to the bus that I need, that bus going to the other airport in, what's the name of that airport? Do you remember?
Can't remember. It's the international airport.
Yeah, that's the international airport that I need to be there for 1 hour. At least in 1 hour, the bus will, the lady told me that the bus will be arrived for 5 minutes. If I can make it, I will be reached in that airport within an hour. But if I cannot get that bus, I missed that flight. So I was rushing. I get my luggage and my ticket from the bus, and I was running around in the airport of Japan on that time. And finally, I get the bus, and I get the bus. And when I went to the other airport, it just 45 minutes to go. 45 minutes left before the aircraft closed. And I was roaming around also to find where I can check in my luggage. And finally, when I got checked in, I go in the aircraft, and I was running and running. My journey in Japan was always running, because I just only have 3 hours and 45 minutes of my layover on that. So I was keep on running on that so that I can reach everything that I need. And finally, when I was in the aircraft, I can see finally this is it. When the journey from Japan going to Canada, it was same as him, 15 hours. Yeah, 15 hours from Japan going to Canada. So I just leave in Japan about 6 in the evening, and I was arrived at Canada at, is that 5
o'clock.
5 o'clock in the afternoon the other day. So that was a long journey, and I was in the whole journey from Japan going to Canada. I was been sleeping all the time of that, because I was really tired. The whole night in Canada, I was there in the airport, and because my next flight will be in the next morning at around 8 o'clock. And after that, from Canada going to here, it was 6 hours. And yeah, I really made it in that journey. So I was here already to meet him, and I've been here for 5 months, and maybe it could be more months here staying with him. Yep, that was my journey. And well, as he said also, I was welcome her with his family, and his mother and father are very good for me. They also supporting me, and they provide me everything what I need and what they can provide me. Yep.
Okay, so that's our story. So don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share our channel. Remember, this is Bigman, and
I am Brown Sugar. Well, yeah, that's our little bit story of our journey, or how we've been meeting and how we've been together for now. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share or comment our video, our channel here.
That's right. So until next time,
Yeah.
Big Man, Brown
Brown
Sugar.
Sugar. See you soon.
See you. Bye.
And see you really soon for our next surprise in our video.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.